Good morning, everybody. It is September the 12th. And as always, I'm driving to work, which I think is a good thing, you know. It means I still have a job, which is always good in this economy that is crazy. So, always be thankful for the job you have. You could be unemployed. Trust me, it's no fun being unemployed and you got bills. I've had that pleasure. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we can talk about the cool list that I put up a few days ago, comparing all the third-party publishers. A lot of people have been talking about that, and we've had a lot of talk on that in some of the private forums on Facebook between third-party publishers, and I think it's just a really good topic. Specifically, I'll talk about, since they are, I keep saying the word new for them, Legendary Games. I consider them to be a new company. They were, created by Bill Webb with Frog God, and it's kind of spun off from there with Necromancer and all that. But I think, as a company, Frog God's direction and Legendary Games' direction is kind of different, and even how they deliver products and things like that. So I consider Legendary to be a new company, even though, most people in there are Paizo, well-known freelancers. So, but like I said, it's all relative. It's all relative. I consider them to be new company. You might consider them to be old company. It's all good. Either way, it's all good. So, looking at their, I won't even say immediate rise, but their solid work ethic, they've got it down pretty much to a science. Which you know me, releasing products is the way you make more money. So the more products you release, the more money you make. It's not really rocket science. And they've kind of, I'm going to use the word attached. I guess that's the best word to say. They've got to attach themselves specifically making products that supplement the newest products that come out by Paizo. Now that's a great idea. I can't deny that. I've done that with Trade Routes. That was very, very great seller for us. People liked that whole mini campaigning. We really got into that. We expanded on that. So it only makes logical sense. And I think it's also a problem too with companies. You'll see in this lovely little discussion. I think there becomes an issue of when your products follow specifically the main guys, you can only do stuff that they do. So they're coming out with something, well, you're going to come out with something with it too, which is great to supplement. Usually the first guy there gets the first strike at supplementing. And also, it helps also too that a lot of their guys, the guys who are writing the stuff that's coming out. So it is prior knowledge. It is a little. Some people are like, well, that's unfair. They get a little advantage, and I'm like, whatever, man. It's just an advantage. They got it. Go figure out your own advantage. You don't need an advantage to do good stuff. You need smarts to do good stuff. Don't be lazy and just say, oh, they've got all these great writers. What can I do? I can't do anything, and I'm going to get beat. Wrong answer. Figure it out. Think about it a little bit. Be different. Put a spin on something that people wouldn't normally do. Find a niche that you can develop. It's all, that's what you need to do. Stop crying about what they got. Worry about what you got. That's what my dad used to always say. He was good for that one. That was always a great line by his. So I think a lot of people get hung up on that whole thing. And, to me, I'm very much a believer in anybody can beat anybody on any given day. All it takes is a little bit of skill and a whole bunch of luck, and things happen. There have been upsets all through history, starting with my personal favorite one, David and Goliath, all right? That just sets the tone for a lot of things. So if you get in a situation like that, just remember what you need to do, So just work on it like that. I think Legendary Games, puts out a great-looking product. You know me, I like the way art looks. They put together a great-looking product. They put together a great games mechanic product. I think they have a good, solid fan base, and it's growing. I think they have a lot of those advantages, but I think you have to think about yourself and how can you develop your niche. Something they haven't done yet, what I assume they're going to do, but they haven't done yet, is build their own campaign setting. And that, to me, that's the biggest test, because they've supported, and they're supporting Pathfinder so heavily and closely, their campaign setting has to be kind of close to what they're supporting, because the people that are used to it are going to be like, whoa. I'd find it hard for them, who've done all this work on these puzzle games, to release something like Neo Exodus. You can't put something that radical into, you could, but you built your fan base kind of on getting the people who like Pathfinder a certain way, they like a certain group of things, and that kind of sets it up in a certain way. Now they could try something radical, try something very new. Taslania, no elves. They could try a lot of different stuff, but I think some of their fan base might buck to that. But I think since they've already built an interesting fan base, people are going to check them out anyway. I know for myself, I mean, specifically, I'm just talking about my campaign worlds. I did campaign worlds that I thought would be interesting for me. You know, every product I make, I always say, it's got to be interesting for me. If I'm not interested by it, then why would someone else be interested to buy it? You know, that's pretty simple. And, I mean, and with that, we really got, I mean, Neo Exodus is very much a setting that I would play in. It's got all the races I play in. But as I said before, I'm tired of traditional fantasy races. Why people keep playing them, I don't get it, but that's to each his own. I'm not going to badmouth you for it. I just don't get it. So I think Legendary Games will have to find some way to incorporate what they're doing now with the future campaign setting, whatever it might be. And, you know, like I said, and I could be totally wrong. They might be going on a limb on something totally different. I don't know. It's a lot of different ways you can go. Also with that, talking to the guys at Super Genius, talking to Owen, but he's still the guys at Super Genius. Talking to Owen, looking at much of that, looking at their release schedule. I mean, everybody knows. If you're going to talk about Super Genius, you're talking about a release a week. They're releasing something. You know, something is getting released every week. They're not missing a week. You know, they've built their reputation on that, so they can't miss a week. I think I can say they will probably be the biggest direct competition to Legendary Games. And I'm saying this in the sense of really a positioning. You know, Super Genius Games has positioned themselves as being the weekly release, short, chombo PDFs that you can get something good, boom, every week, not a lot of money. Legendary has put themselves as being the supplementer of Pathfinder material written by the guys who write the original stuff. I'd say a little on the higher end. I've always said that, a little on the higher end, but solidly done, amazing production values. It's very much and Rachel Ventura said it, which I thought was a really great line she used. She called it like, we're kind of, instead of, and this, people don't take this negatively, but this is what it is. Instead of being a Walmart catch-all, like Paizo has to be, Paizo has to be kind of generic, because they are building a setting, and it can't be really, really nichey, which I understand. And with that, they kind of have to give it more of a generic flair. The small third-party publishers, we can get in to be very nichey, and as Rachel said, kind of boutique about it, which I thought was a great way to describe it, because it is. We are kind of boutique shops. You know, I'm taking this small little area of this, and I'm going to focus on this, and they're going to make this really cool. And then Super Genius is going to focus on this one little area, and they're going to make it really cool. And I think that's kind of a great way to look at it. I think, like I said, Legendary and Super Genius will bump heads on things, or what I think would be better for them in the very much long term is team up and do projects together. And I mean, we all know third-party guys have done projects together. I mean, I've done projects with Right Publishing and Super Genius and Dream Scarred Press, and it's just really, you know, where things work out. I think Legendary and Super Genius, great combo there. You already got guys who are already well known in the business on both sides, solidly good workers. You know, I would say, you know, combine both of their writing and game mechanics, Legendary Games, graphic design, boom, you've got a solid product, and that's gonna be a kind of a winner. I've always imagined, at least in my head, that what would happen would be similar to what Paradigm Concepts did with Green Ronin. They did a couple of books in the early, I think 3.0, it might have been, I think maybe 3.5, but I think 3.0 days. They devised a thing called OGL Interlock, and it was a great idea. One side, and they did it for races specifically. One side would take one type of races, one side would take the other type of races. For example, one side would take dwarves, other ones would take giants. One time would take orcs, other one would take elves. And they do these books, which was kind of cool. The covers were actually big widescreen covers, but you'd only see half of it if you had one book. If you had the elf book, all the elves are pointing their arrows in this direction. And if you got the orc book, all the weapons are pointing in this direction. And when you put them together, it's a whole big poster-sized thing. That was very smart, I thought. You know, two companies coming together, making two products, but really they're making two products to expose each other to each other's clients, which is definitely a smart thing to do. And also, you know, they hired one guy for it, so he had one unified voice, one unified feel. This company this part, this company this part. Split the money down the middle. Boom, everyone's happy. Have a nice day. I think that's a cool idea. I'm surprised more people haven't done that and thought about doing that kind of stuff. I think it's usually about timing and getting the right people together, but whatever. I think it is, absolutely a good idea to team up with third-party publishers. Especially in the age when we have so many guys, and this is another part to this. So many guys selling on so many different sites. Everybody's trying to get noticed, and that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to get noticed. Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. And so I think the best way to go about that is team up. Team up is a great way because you expose each other to each other. You expose each other's companies to each other's clients, and a lot of them are the same. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of guys who are the same, but there are some guys who are totally, absolutely different. I know for ourselves, we just got a review for our big Enemies of New Access Cyrix book that we put out, and we put in that book, which got a 5-star seal of approval from Enza Geist. Once you know that, very important. We put in the actual monster and its data blocks as a normal Pathfinder monster. Then we also did a psionic version using Dreamcard Press's rules. So hey. We tied that into the story also, so it just kind of all fit together, making sense. But it's one of those situations of, hey, it's smart to do that. It's smart to add stuff like that, and it's people who play Dreamcard Press might need a new villain. Oh, okay. Oh, this you have Dreamcard Press's stats in this. Oh, you got some Sonic stuff in this. Oh, let me check this out. And from there, getting someone to check it out, you might get them to buy some of your other stuff. And vice versa. Someone buys Neo Access. Oh, I've always wanted to get the Psionics. I didn't know where to start. You've got a cool monster that uses it. Oh, I'd like to try it out. Let me see their stuff. Boom. And I think that's just smart long-term business. And Super Genius and Legendary Games doing something like that. Smart. Two of the top producers of products. Definitely smart. I think Right Publishing does their monthly free. Pay as you like now. Book, I can't remember the name of it now. Pathways. It comes out every month. It's free. Pay what you want. But he also interviews lots of different third-party publisher guys, talking about what's going on in their business, talking about what's going on. I think that's another smart thing to do. He not only just shows his stuff, but he shows off other people's stuff. And even better, Steve, who owns Right Publishing, has made a actual book. I can't remember the name, but I'm totally so sorry, Steve. That combined a lot of classes from a lot of third-party publishers. Secrets of Archetypes? I think it's Secrets of Archetypes. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm driving, I can't remember. So, he put this together and basically made it a collection of everybody's third-party, product and cool little add-ons to it, and lots of archetypes to it. He did include the Machine Smith of ours, a lot of stuff from Super Genius, I believe the Malefactor from Total Party Kill. And it was a great book for that, but it's a crossover book. So if you liked any of those classes, well, here, check this out. Here's some more cool classes, and hey, here's some other stuff you may not have known. And I think that's just a smart idea. So that's why I'm kind of saying the Legendary Super Genius combination. But I mean, even smaller companies can do that. I think the real issue that always happens is that we as business owners have to say, okay, I'm going to let go of the thing that I'm holding on to as tight as possible to let other people work on it, because it happens all the time. You've got a product or a product you want to do. You got somebody else that say, hey, we could probably do it together. You start working on the product, but they're not doing it the way you want them to do. It happens all the time. It happens to everybody. I think you've got to kind of step away from that and just say, okay, look, how can we make the best product possible? How can we make a good product that people want to buy? How can we make something that people find interesting, which is definitely important? And that's kind of the focus. I think that's a good idea. I think that's the focus it should be. Also, on top of that, I'll take a situation that I thought was really great for us, because we've been developing Neo Access a long time. We've got a lot of Neo Access specific products, but I kept saying, well, we got to find a crossover product, something basically gives somebody, crossover appeal. And I use that term like when they use music. You want a certain, if you're a new band, you want a kind of crossover appeal so people can people who are the popular people will take a look out of your, outside of your niche. Because your niche people will love you no matter what you do. But you're looking to expand out of that and get more people involved. You've got to make it more cross appeal. Excuse me. And for us, we did that. I think the first one that we really did that I was really, really happy about too that we did it was Adventure Path Iconics. That was my first real, hey, let's do a good crossover, let's make this kind of cool, let's do this. And people seem to have responded very well to it. I mean, we've done 2 so far, and the reviews are great. We've got 3 more that are in the can that are ready to go, so I guess that's something we're doing well. Well, I'm at work now. 15 minutes is a pretty good video. All right. We'll talk some more about this. I think this is an interesting topic, but I got to go to work and do some stuff. All right. Talk to you later.